In this video, we're going to focus on our project setup and also how to import footage in Final Cut. So let's get right into it. If we look here, if we go to our Finder, and again, if you want to edit this project and use Premiere, that will be in the next section. If you want to use Premiere, we also have a section of this entire edit. Phil's going to be using Premiere for that one, and I'm going to be using Final Cut for both projects. So step number one is to make sure that you download all of the footage on your hard drive. So right now we have all the clips and all the footage that we need. We've already read through our editing instructions. And then next we're going to open up Final Cut. All right, so all of our footage we have on our hard drive. So if we look at the info, we are editing off of our 500 gigabyte Samsung T5. So it's a fast hard drive and it's dedicated for our editing. You do not want to edit on hard disk drives. It's good for backing up and putting your original content, but now we're putting the content that we need and getting ready for the edit. So if anything ever happens, we have it in a safe spot elsewhere as well. So if we go to the bottom here, or if you want, you could type it in at the top, you're going to open up Final Cut Pro. So we're going to open up this and we're going to put it on a new screen, again, version 10.61. So right now we're just going to remove the dock. So now we can see Final Cut Pro. So what's the first thing that we have to do? Well, that's going to be to create a new library. So before we begin editing and before we teach you the basics, so first we're going to go to the top left, we're going to go to File, New, Library. So once we create the library, then we can create specific projects with specific resolution for that project. What I'm going to do is create projects that are 4K and HD, but if you want, you can do smaller resolutions depending on what kind of computer you have. So again, you're going to go File, New, Library. Okay? So this is going to be basically your entire library of projects that you're working on. And this will make sense in a minute. So we're just going to put Bouchard Gardens. So this could just be the client. So in your library, you could have multiple projects, but we're just going to put the client name. So Bouchard Gardens commercials. Okay. So where will be the location? And we're going to do our YouTube editing SSD. Okay, so now we just created a library. So now if we go to our YouTube editing SSD, you're going to see this. And if we go to our get info, we have basically nothing in here yet. I'm going to show you how to import into this. Okay, so we're starting to get somewhere. So if we go to our instructions here, there's nothing that talks about resolution. So you want to maybe check that out with your client, see what they want. For me, I want to do the highest quality possible. And then we could also export lower versions if we need later on as well. And I'm going to show you how you can do that later on. But for us, we just need a 1-minute project. I want to do 4K because we can. And then if you want, you could also just do HD or 720p. Our footage was shot in 4K, and that's going to be the resolution that we have access to. So we're going to hit New Project from our field to our home. Okay, and we're going to put 4K timeline. So here you're going to type in project name, and then what you're going to do is go to use custom settings, and then this is kind of where the magic happens at the beginning. You want to have the best resolution possible, but for example, say the client wanted a 4K project. Here's where you have to go in the drop down menu and put 4K. If they just want HD, just create an HD timeline. It will render and edit much faster. So again, we're going to do 4K because we do have 4K footage that we can utilize. So if you create a 4K timeline and you only have HD content, that would be what is known as upscaling, where it will look a little bit better. So we're going to create a 4K timeline that will be 3840 by 2160. Our frame rate is true 24, so we want to go to 24p. And then rendering, we could compress it a little bit by using light, or we could go higher. So for us, we're at 422, and that's what we'll keep it at. That's more than fine. And then we want to do stereo, 48, and then we're going to hit OK. All right, so now here's our project. So if we double click, our timeline is this project. Okay. So that's how you create a new project. That's how you create a 4K timeline. You could also do HD if you want. So how do you import your footage? Well, there's a couple ways. To import your footage, what you're going to do is go to your Finder, and then you're going to find your footage for us. So what we want to do is import these video clips, right? And then we also have voiceover, and then we have our music effects. So we want to import all of this. We're going to start off with our video clips. And if we look, we have about 3.74 gigabytes of footage. And for you, it may be different. I still have to compress some of the shots. All right, so what we're gonna do is open up video clips, and then you're gonna hit Command A or just highlight everything. So we could also just highlight everything. And then you're just gonna throw it onto the timeline. All right, so that's gonna be one way that you can import the footage. You could also hit Command 9, and then you will see the import media progress. So this could be a way that you import footage, and this will take a little bit of time to render. This computer's fairly quick, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue. The best way to import media so that you don't have everything on your timeline right away is to go File, Import Media. And then you're going to go into your hard drive or wherever your footage is. You're going to go to All Footage, and then you're going to go into Video Clips. Okay? So you're going to go to Video Clips, and you're going to click on the first clip, and then hold on to Shift, hit the final clip, and that will highlight all your clips. Or you could do them individually, and then you will hit Import Selected. So once you do that, you're going to hit Command 9, and then it will begin importing all of your clips. So if we click on Bouchard Gardens, it will begin to import all of the footage into Final Cut. So if you're having a hard time seeing this, I'm going to show you how you can do a list view. So if you click here next to all clips, you will have a list view of all the different videos. And then we'll close this. And again, Command 9 will be a shortcut for seeing your importing and your rendering, basically your progress bar, also for video exporting. So we can go through the clips this way as well, and then we could basically hit I and O and select portions that we want as well for the edit. So that's what you do, you just click up here. So what we're going to do is right click, and this is another way to import, and then we're going to import some music effects. So this will be a lot quicker. So if we go Command 9 again, this will import basically right away. And then we will also import just our voiceover as well. So now we have everything imported. In the next video, we're going to begin with our first rough cut. So we will see you in the next one.